Oh, we ready? Okay.
Yep, you
Hey,
guys go
everybody.
live. I'm out.
Everybody, this is Terrible Tim Witherspoon, former two-time heavyweight champ of the world, and I'm here with Greg and Jason and Bruce Gas. Y'all guys introduce yourself so we could get started on this show.
World. All right, man. I'll start off, man. My name is Bruce Gas. I have a channel, Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. I've known Tim for about a year. I hooked up with him down in Elmira, Pennsylvania. He's a hell of a nice guy, man. I've been watching him fight since my 20s, and I'm in my 60s right now, bro. I've been watching boxing for a long time. It's a pleasure to be on here. And here we're going to talk about the reason why we don't see the welterweight title get unified. Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. I mean, I've seen unifications in my day. I've seen some of the greatest unification welterweight fights that are on the history. In history, I saw Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns. I saw Felix Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya. I saw Chavez and I saw Whitaker. I mean, there's no reason that this is a glamorous division. There's no reason this fight can't be made. And guys, it's a pleasure to be on a panel with you. And this is what we're here to kind of chop up a little bit.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. So I'm Greg from AM Sports Media. Our flagship show is the Angry Man Podcast. And we talk boxing on our channel. So this is a topic that we've covered in depth for a while now. And we actually have a documentary kind of covering the developments of the negotiations all the way to where we are currently. And right now it's at about, I don't know, Jason, almost 90,000 or something like that views on YouTube.
Yeah. It's gotten up there. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Very impressive.
Yeah. So I'm Jason. I'm the other half of AM Sports Media, the Angry Man Podcast. Like Greg said, we talk boxing. It's been part of me since I was a little kid. My dad boxed in the Marine Corps. He was one of the trainers for Lloyd Hunnigan and Johnny B. Smagabi back in the day. So he so he got me into boxing. I just never got into boxing myself to get in the ring because I didn't like getting hit. And sooner or later, you're gonna have to get hit sooner or later. I love the training, but I couldn't do it. I was like, nah, I can't take a shot to the face like that. So, but yeah, I've been around. I've seen boxing. I've seen Marlon Starling, Mark Breland, in Florida and here in Tampa. My dad also trained Floyd Peavy along with Lloyd Cunningham and Johnny B. Smagabi. So I'm just happy to be here. Yeah.
Wow, this is just beautiful. Just being on with y'all guys.
Oh yeah, bro. And we're all such here in this small intertwined world. Marlon Starling, good friend of mine. I talked to him this morning.
Yes.
Great man, and he's looking forward to coming on here and doing podcasts. And I mean, it brings us all together. It's a great thing, especially that the history of boxing. And we got a legend right here, bro. 2-time heavyweight champ of the world, man, sitting with that WBC green belt over his shoulder.
Yeah. And like I was telling them, I was born and raised 10 minutes from where they made the movie, Sylvester Stallone and then I went on to become the real 2-time heavyweight champion.
The real Rocky.
Thinking about it, I was supposed to be a football player or something, and now I'm here with y'all guys.
So Tim, hey. What do you guys think of the welterweight situation today? To get back on topic, what you think this fight should be made, or we've been juggling, going back and forth on YouTube with this fight now for a couple of years. Some people are fed up with it. They don't even want to talk about it anymore. I've seen people where you go on a panel, you mention Bud and Errol, and they don't want to hear it anymore. What do you guys think of this fight? You think it should be made, could be made, will be made, or is it just a pie in the sky?
I'll go real quickly. I know Greg gonna elaborate a little bit more than I can, but very quickly. I think it should be made. Yes. Now, will it be made? I don't have a good feeling about it. Greg has brought me to the dark side based on some of the stuff he's researched and some stuff I've researched as well, that it might not happen just because it's just so much shenanigans and politics of boxing getting in play. So I thought the fight should have happened last year at the very least, back November, December, but it didn't. I would love to see the fight happen because, like you said earlier, the welterweight division is a huge. It's the nice division. It's the division to watch, where a lot of fighters are at, especially right now with these two type of fighters still at their primes. They should really be going at it for undisputed. All the chips are there, and it's not happening. So I don't think it's going to happen again.
Yeah. So from my perspective, I've always been under the mindset or the impression that fighters are not afraid of each other. Um, but I do believe that fighters will take opportune. They will mitigate their risk when they have the opportunity to. Now, this fight has been in the making since 2017. We know that Errol Spence has wanted to unify the titles. He's been saying this for a while. But we also know that there's a lot of politics within the sport of boxing currently. And when you think about the PBC, you think about Top Rank, you think about all these different entities, sometimes it's very hard to make these fights because all parties involved have to be satisfied with the money and the splits and the revenue and all that stuff. So Terence Crawford has been in a situation where he's been guaranteed money that maybe he wasn't able to generate. Now we know that Top Rank has said that they've been losing money on him. And now he's transitioning into being basically his own promoter. And so he's going from a guarantee model to a model where he has to actually generate the revenue. And I always thought that that was going to be an issue, and it's been proving to be an issue. Now, I feel like Crawford, in the situation that he's been in relative to the welterweight division, has not necessarily faced some of the better welterweights in the division. He's chosen to take the path of least resistance. But I did believe that he would make this fight, just considering that it's the biggest fight in the sport, and each one of these gentlemen can probably make somewhere around $10 million if they were to make this fight. For whatever reason, it still has not been signed. It still hasn't occurred. So, in my opinion, more than likely, it will not happen.
So what do you think is the obstacle? I mean, I know that we don't know. We're not fortunate enough to be behind the scenes. But do you think it's reluctance on Crawford's part, or do you think it might be reluctance on Al Heyman's part, or do you think Errol Spence might be throwing a monkey wrench in this promotion? I mean, it's got to be somebody that's not going with the flow. That's the thing. And Tim, Tim was in one of the greatest fights in history, bro.
Say that again.
I said, you were in some of the greatest promotions in boxing history. Why is this one so difficult? Like my brother Greg said, since 2017, we've been waiting for this fight. I mean, dude, this is not Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. This is two welterweights that happen to hold belts, and we as fans, we want to see these. We want to see this title unified. We want to see no undisputes. We want to see undisputed welterweight champion. And pay-per-view, it's crazy now. They throw these figures at us. People are going to steal the fight. They don't want to do it because it's not going to sell. Bud Crawford doesn't draw. I mean, to me, this is all bullshit because I look at it as a pure boxing fan. I just want to see the fight. And I've never seen an era where the best welterweights don't fight each other. That's the way it's always been in my damn almost 5 generations of watching boxing, bro.
Yeah, that fight should definitely go off. I know they have the business part of it. There's a lot of people talking about different things about the fight and why the fight should or should not go off. You hear people talking about that fight, like back in the day, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, and them. They went in there for it, and all the different things that made the fight was put together properly. I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused right now. I watched them guys fight. Why can't they fight? So you guys be on the business part all the time. I'm just trying to help people train. I'm trying to exercise. I should get involved more in the business part, like y'all guys do. Y'all really sharp. And I feel really vulnerable because y'all guys are sharper than me. But no, serious, y'all guys y'all guys really up on it. But I'm thinking, you know what? Those guys should fight. Find a way to put them in the ring, get them in the ring. They should be able to generate the money too. You hear their name all the time, Spence, Crawford. Why can't they make that fight? Why?
For me, I just think it's a situation where, it's one party, in my opinion, is risk averse. The other party is probably not as risk averse because they are going to get the lion's share of the money. And at the end of the day, Tim, you've been in these negotiations, right? I mean, think about it when you fought Larry Holmes, right? Larry Holmes was the champion. He's going to get the lion's share of the money. You can't go into the negotiation. You can't go into the negotiation and say, okay, well, you know what? I want 50-50. And Larry Holmes is going to say no, because Larry Holmes was the one that was putting cheeks in seats, just like when Larry Holmes went to Mike Tyson and he fought Mike Tyson. Larry Holmes, even though he was the former heavyweight champion, I think at the time maybe he only had one loss. He can't then say, well, Mike, I want 50-50 split. And oh, by the way, I also want to be able to control the expenses associated with the fight. It's not going to work, guys.
Right.
And so those are the types of things that when you come in, you're throwing in a monkey wrench, right? I don't know any boxer other than a boxer that actually owns a promotional company that's going to go and tell the other promotion, the actual promotional company that's putting up the money, and tell the actual network that they want to control the expenses. Tim, have you ever seen that in your experience, that the boxer controlled the expenses associated with the promotion?
No, I never seen, and I don't think today a boxer is like doing business and boxing is just too much for his brain. Somebody's there. If you understand what I'm saying, he can't negotiate, get in there, negotiate, and train, and get going on and win a fight. Somebody has to. If we're on the same subject, he can't be a businessman. Oh, Hal Crawford going in and representing himself and doing that. He can't do that. It's hard thinking about the money, and when you fighting, you before the fight, you trying to generate the money or get what you want out of it, and be the business and boxing is too. If they say they doing it, they're not telling you the truth. I'm doing the business negotiation and I'm getting in the ring and fight. If that's what you mean, they're not doing that. Floyd Mayweather, we're not going on another subject, but he act like he did all the business, but he didn't. He didn't do all that business. You can't box and physically get in the ring thinking about your money, thinking if you did a good deal or not. Somebody need to get that fight on the road, because I wanted to see it myself.
Now, when Floyd was with Bob Arum couldn't get this fight made. So why is it? What? Who else is Floyd going? I'm sorry, not Floyd. Bud. When Bud was with Bob Arum, he couldn't get this fight made. So who's he gonna go with now? Who's gonna get this fight made? Is there a promoter, or is he gonna go solo? And the operations with the signing with PBC went nowhere. But
why couldn't they make the fight, Bruce? Why couldn't they make it?
Bro, I have no clue. I don't know what's going on.
That's unusual.
There's millions of dollars on the table. Rematch clauses, all these crazy things. A side, B side. It's a whole different world than when I was a boxing fan. Right now, there's so many people involved in a fight, all lawyers and internet personalities. It's a foreign world to me, bro. It really is. It's not what I grew up with. It's not what Tim Witherspoon grew up with. I don't know how old you gentlemen are, but you guys seem much more hip with what's happening in boxing today.
I know.
Man, I tell you, I'm lost in the jungle.
I would venture to say, Bruce, that those things always existed, but they weren't necessarily in the public eye, right? People didn't talk about them like they do today. I don't know if it's just because of the social media era, but in the day of Mike Tyson, there was an A side, and Mike was the A side in every negotiation. So we all knew that. But at the same time, people didn't talk about it. And now we got fighters that go to social media and they start to talk about, well, I'm not going to do this unless I get this, or if I don't get this, then I'm going to get this. And then the social, I would call it like the YouTube personalities or the social media personalities, they get blamed because they're talking about these things that fighters are actually talking about these days. It's a whole different world in terms of just a fighter's mentality versus what you had to experience, Tim. Fighters today are not like your generation. They just simply aren't. And it was more so about proving that you were the best. And that was even up until, even like the early 2000s, I think it was still kind of close to your era. But, and I think you retired, 2003? So even up to that point, it was still kind of like, the best fought the best. But then you started getting into this real kind of like trying to really manage your career. And don't get me wrong, Floyd Mayweather is one of my favorite fighters. He's my top 3 fighters, along with James Toney is one of my favorite fighters, and Roy Jones. Those are my 3 top favorite. No, actually, and Mike Tyson. Mike is my number 1 guy. So those are my 4 top fighters. I love Floyd, but Floyd made the O too important. The O is now become a marketing tool that everybody's afraid to leave and let go. And so because of that, everybody's protecting it, and they're not getting into the ring unless the money exceeds the risk.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'm scared to get that one loss.
Because the thing is, he made the O so marketable that you have to be undefeated. And in your day, you didn't have to be undefeated. That didn't matter.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But one thing with Floyd was, though, people forget about Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd was a beast. He was fighting everyone and anyone. He wanted to fight the top no matter what. As he turned to Money May, he kind of changed his game plan. For one, his hands were breaking down, and two, he started thinking about making more money. He had already pretty much established himself as a top fighter, a Hall of Famer. These new fighters nowadays, they want the things of Money May without working through Pretty Boy Floyd.
Okay.
Well, the thing that I look at right now today in the welterweight division is that the thing. Boxers have always strived to be the best in their division, and you've got two undefeated prime fighters here. I mean, and they're not getting any younger. Both of these guys are in their mid-30s, correct? I mean, bro, if you're not,
this is in his early 30s, and yep.
All right, this fight has to be made now, or it's gonna dwindle in its quality. But the thing I notice is the fans have gotten so hostile in this fight. The Bud fans on one side, the Errol Spence fans on the other side. I mean, bro, it's like there's more action going on YouTube, and literally, it's like these people. I'm hearing threats going down. I'm hearing insults, freaking homosexual accusations, and I mean, just
serious.
Oh yeah, bro. It's nasty out there. And it's this fight, bro. There's a lot of tribalism going on. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You pick one fighter, you're a Bud sexual. You pick the other one, you're an Errol. They get names for. I don't even remember these names, but it kind of turns me off, man. It really does. It's not what boxing should be. And internet warriors, guys, I don't think they ever had a fight in their life. They're acting like they buried people. Oh, I buried him. It's like, dude, this we want to see this fight happen in the ring. This is the best welterweight fight out there. This is really the Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns of this generation, man. And it has to be made. If this fight's not made, it's gonna, like, boxing is going downhill right now. Boxing really is. It's kind of in a sewer, really, man. I saw the glory days. We had filet mignon served to us every weekend afternoon. Great fights, free TV, beautiful, beautiful fights. Now we're seeing they're showing us these whole cards, pay-per-view, which is ridiculous because everybody knows how to stream a fight. Anybody who doesn't, they don't even belong behind a computer. But it's a whole different world. And they could make these fights. They could go find sponsorship for boxing. Boxing has no sponsors anymore. That's where the money is. The pay-per-view, that's a thing of the past. Nobody's, you walk into a store and you got a Coke machine, free Coke in this one, or $1 for a Coke in that one. Which one are you going to pull the handle of? I mean, let's face it. They've got to find a new way to sell boxing. Maybe sell pay-per-views at live events, or make it interactive where they can we can actually be any seat in the arena through technology, backroom action, whatever it is. But pay-per-view, it's not a way to measure the success of a fight anymore. I mean, I'm seeing we have a pay-per-view that's next week coming up, the Adrian Broner, which has been 3 different opponents. Now the latest one, Michael Williams, is out with a broken jaw. And this is a pay-per-view supposedly next Saturday night. And they don't even have an
Yeah, they just canceled it.
It's been canceled.
All right. Yeah, I heard that. I read Mike Coppinger tweet that it was canceled. And
yeah,
boxing is crazy today. That's another welterweight, Adrian Broner. Where was he going to go? And what makes him pay-per-view quality on his comeback?
He's not pay-per-view quality. I honestly believe that boxing needs a reset. And by reset, I mean, I think, and I've said this in the past, that I believe that at some point boxers started getting paid above their market rates.
Okay.
And I don't begrudge any fighter for getting the most money that he can, but at the same time, the business end of it needs to be satisfied in order for these companies to stay in boxing. HBO, who had a presence in boxing for years, got out of the game because it was no longer profitable to be in boxing, right?
Whoa.
So I think the sport. You disagree, Tim?
No, I'm saying what?
Oh.
I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I
that's
gotta
what you
get
said.
back on the scene. Y'all guys on the, let him. He can talk. But I'm saying y'all guys on the scene making us look bad. I'm a boxer. I should be knowing stuff. Go ahead.
Oh no. So they got out of the game because it wasn't profitable. And so I feel like it needs a reset. I think number one, you need to get it off of paid television and get it back on free television.
Okay.
To the point that Bruce was talking about, relative to being able to get, on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, whatever, see the fights on. I used to watch fights when I was a kid with my dad. It used to be on free TV. And then somewhere in the late 80s, early 90s, then all of a sudden it was on HBO and all that good stuff. And so I think there needs to be a reset.
ABC. Remember that?
Let's not forget glorious days of Tuesday night sports.
Yeah, Friday night. So that's before my time. Worldwide of sports before my time.
Tuesday night fights, man, with Sean O'Grady, and then Friday night ESPN fights with Teddy Atlas.
Yeah,
I mean those were great times. And then you still got those weekend free fights on regular network television. Those were the glory days, man. Now we're having fights every weekend, but another question: why do they all have to be on a Saturday? It's all like they bottleneck these fights on a Saturday. Some of the greatest fights in history were during the week. You know that? Well, Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns was on a Tuesday night. Sanchez and Wilfredo Gomez, that was during the week. That I think was on Thursday.
That one. There was a moment when the fight came out.
Yeah, one of the greatest fights that ever happened. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, Monday night. Yeah, all the big fights were Monday night. All those heavyweight fights, Madison Square Garden, they were Monday night fights. Bonavena and Ali. Frazier and Jimmy Ellis, they're all held during the week. Now it seems like corporate boxing says that these fights have to be held on a Saturday night at a certain time, and everybody's fighting for that time space, and it's really hurting the quality and the quantity of the fights. So that's something that I think they should recognize that and step back and look at the weeknights, because I mean Saturday night, that was the night you took your chick out. That was date night. That was reserved. Even when they had the fights on Saturday afternoon, it was great. You could watch Larry Holmes or you could watch Tim Witherspoon on ABC's Wide World of Sports, and you could still go out Saturday night. Because man, believe me, I'm serious about this. Me staying home on Saturday night watching boxing ruined my first marriage. Not that it wasn't on shaky legs anyway, but that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, boxing was my love, and that came first, and bro, that's why I think boxing business, they should look at fights during the week.
I'm following their lead. I'm following their lead because they know more about what's going on than me. So I'm just following y'all guys. I know a little bit.
I don't.
What's going on. Go ahead.
I don't disagree with that. I think fighters need to be. We need to reset. I think it needs to be moved back to free television. Okay. And I think there needs to be an emphasis on you're going to fight the best. Period. Right. And there's not going to be, or you're not going to get paid. Like, this is the money that's being offered. And there needs to be some uniform approach to doing that. But at the end of the day, if you're getting the fighters in the ring with the best fighters in and around their weight class, regardless if they lose or not, people are going to be interested. People are interested in the UFC. Even when you take a loss, they are still interested in you. Yes. Deontay Wilder took 2 losses versus Tyson Fury. I would love to see him in the ring with another fighter who has taken a loss. 2 losses. Anthony Joshua, that fight has not been my interest level is still just as high as it was before in that fight. I want to see that fight. So catching a 0 doesn't mean that your career is over, that you're no longer marketable or anything of that nature. You are still vastly marketable. People want to see you in the ring with other fighters because we understand that styles makes fights. And just because you lost to this guy who lost to this guy doesn't mean that you can't beat that guy, because that triangle stuff doesn't work in the sport.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense right there.
Hey, let me shout out my sister Fistiana. Fistiana Fights is out here. Tim, you remember the glasses I was showing you the other night? The water glasses?
Yeah.
Fistiana makes those, bro. She made the Tim Witherspoon mug up there, man.
Well,
She's out the audience, so shout out to my sister Fistiana.
Oh,
a true lover of boxing, man. She'll blow. She'll come up here. She'll blow us away with her knowledge of boxing. She's really she's a real thing. So, man, it's an honor to have her in here listening to us. But getting back, I can't even remember where we jumped off.
What he said was really on time. That made me feel like, oh, I know what I'm listening to now. I'm serious. That was cool. That was put together. Go ahead, Bruce.
No, man, you go ahead, man. I get shaken up when a beautiful woman comes in the room. Whenever Fistiana comes in, I get all goosebumps and everything. It's almost like I need a toke on my toke too to calm the nerves. But getting back to the welterweight division, and like I said, man, I talked to Marlon today, Marlon Starling, and we're talking about how the O is so important today. You cats remember when Marlon Starling when he was upcoming, he was a USBA and Donald Curry was NABF. I don't know if Curry was NABF or Starling was USBA, but they were both undefeated. Neither one were world titleists, but they fought each other. And I couldn't believe it. I opened a TV guide and I said, wow, these guys they're like two Porsches, without a scratch on them. They're both, Sugar Ray Leonard is starting to retire. He's not fighting anybody. And these guys are both going right for the title. And you had Milton McCrory in the match too. But to have these guys at that stage fighting each other, I'm like, wow. I'm saying, is this real? Is this a misprint? And Donald Curry won the fight and Starling got the L, but that didn't hurt his career at all. Both of them, neither one of them, they both went on to win multi belts and multi divisions. And that's like, that goes to show you, especially we're talking about the welterweight division now, how an L, even early in your career, listen to me, Jerron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz fighting each other, man. Even with an L, it's not going to hurt your reputation. You both go out there, you show up, you show out, and that's what boxing is all about, right there, man.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think so. My thing is, I think in today's climate, it does hurt their reputation to take an L. But that's the thing: if you force everybody to actually fight the best competition, you'll start to see all these fighters take L's, right? So then you start to change the mindset and the conscience of the average viewer relative to the sport. They'll now understand that, oh no, it doesn't mean that you're the best just because you have a 0 next to your name. What has been sold to me from Floyd Mayweather was just a bill of goods. Not that Floyd Mayweather sold anybody a bill of goods, but just the promotion and the marketing around being undefeated, and the fact that Floyd was undefeated and people wanted to see him get beat so bad. There's all this mystique around the O now. If we start forcing these fighters to fight each other, the mystique of the O will go away. Initially, it'll be painful, but the mystique of the O will eventually go away.
Yes.
Look who we got right here, Tim Witherspoon. You got your first O against Larry Holmes. What did that do to your career, bro?
It boosted. I did a good job. It boosted my thing up. When I fought Larry. Yeah, a lot of people thought I was going to.
Everybody knew who Tim Witherspoon was after that fight.
After that fight, I think it's a little bit different now. The situation was going on, but I was going up that ladder, and I didn't care who I fought. But that was a pretty good experience for me. I was going in there to lose. That's when they was putting me in there. Just another Larry Holmes.
But you went on to win. Went on to win 2 world champions with 2 heavyweight titles after that, and you had that L. It's supposed to be the scarlet letter, the shame. but it didn't bother your career at all, bro. Why don't these fighters realize that today, man? Go in there, go into the deep end of the pool, man. If you're gonna come out of there with that L, be proud of it. Come out of there with that L.
I understand.
Like you did, man. People, and then most of the people said, "Are you sure he lost that fight? Are you sure he didn't win that decision?" You know. And I think we told you the other day. Back then, nobody won the heavyweight championship by decision. From Max Baer, when Max Baer got beat by James J. Braddock by decision, it didn't change hands by decision again until Leon Spink's decision, Muhammad Ali. And that was 50 years later? You know, it just doesn't happen. And Tim got that L, but no shame in that one, bro.
It wasn't.
No shame at all.
Everybody was giving me a lot of credit for performing the way I did. I did really good. I had a good defense. I wasn't scared of him. And what he did wrong was he like not threatened me. He belittled me, and that made me mad. Who was this guy? I didn't had no money. He actually said he's gonna knock me out and take my girl from me. He said, "Yeah," and then he was, "Hey man," and he was saying I'm a bum. He said, "You don't have no money." He was calling me all that, and he was telling the truth though. But he wasn't gonna take my girl. He wasn't gonna take my girl. Hey, he was telling the truth. You know, I had a little bit of money. You know, and so he thought he can get me. He thought he could get me like really upset, so he can control me mentally. But that made me angry, and I did everything. I was supposed to do it when the bell rung. I took that anger and turned it into positive stuff, and I stepped to him, and it worked out. You know, I was undefeated. 13 fights, 7 amateur fights.
Unbelievable.
I started fighting in 1979, and then I fought Holmes in 83. 83? Was it 83?
I think it was 83.
83. 3 years later, I fought him. Pretty good. That was a pretty good round.
Pretty good stuff. And I hope that's not the reason why. In fact, I don't think that's the reason why these guys aren't fighting now. I really think that it's the money. It's all the lawyers involved. I don't think Bud Crawford has proper representation. I don't think he actually knows how to get into a big contract like this, how to negotiate. And
that's what I was saying earlier.
It's a fucking mess, bro. It is really a mess, you know. And I didn't want to use any cuss words on here, but that fight is going to really sour boxing if it's not made, bro. It really is.
But it's
frustrating.
It's hard to get in there and negotiate with contracts and fight. And if somebody tell you they did it, they're not telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I negotiated this, I did this, that, and I chopped 10 trees down, I boxed 100 rounds, I sparred 100 rounds, I did that. They can't do that. And you got to concentrate on the fight too. You hear some boxers saying, "Oh yeah, I did this, I did that." They didn't do that, the business part. They might have did the physical stuff, training and everything, but they can't sit down and negotiate. Are you with me on that? Do you think a boxer can get in down and negotiate and do all the training, then get in that ring, thinking about the numbers and the contracts and fight too? They can't do that. It's hard.
Something's gonna suffer. And I mean, that's one thing I do like about Floyd. Floyd always said he had a team around him. He had Leonard and he had Al. He always mentioned those whenever he did his business dealings, because he knew those were the business people. He was a fighter. Not saying that you can't have some knowledge, but like you said, for you to try to do and go into the details of it, something's going to suffer. You can't sit there and train, like you said, and sit there and go into think about, okay, did I cross all my T's and dot all my I's in this contract? Hold up, what's the back end? What's this? What's that? You can't do all that and be a truly focused fighter.
Yeah, there's a economic theory that suggests that we should have specialists in things instead of having instead of doing all these different things across all these different disciplines, right? So you cannot be efficient at everything. You know, I may be good. So I'm a certified public accountant. I'm good at that. That's my specialty.
Oh, that's cool.
But I can't then also be a lawyer. You cannot have all these different specialties. So if I go and try to be my own accountant, my own lawyer, my own physician, the quality of it is going to be terrible. And so that's the situation that Bud Crawford is currently in. He's trying to do everything across the board. He wants to be the fighter, the manager, the promoter, only promoter in name. He doesn't want to put up any money. And so all of those different things are going to create a challenge for you. You cannot do all those different things. So either you're going to make a mistake in the ring or you're going to make a mistake in the negotiations. One of them is going to suffer.
Yeah, definitely.
You put it right. That's the first thing that they was telling me. That they was telling me when I started boxing, it's going to be hard, and it was. You know, I mean, I never did it anyway. Try to negotiate. You know, only numbers maybe. Do you like that, Tim? How about $150? You know, stuff like that. But like now, everybody's in the negotiate. Like Crawford and all of them, they are trying to, but how far do they go? Like on the paperwork, I don't know. Maybe you guys might know. You know, like negotiating and stuff like that with the managers and the promoters. They doing it a little bit more now than more than what we did. You know, they just was telling me stuff, and I said, okay. But now it seems like their guys are getting just a little bit more in there, but it's kind of hard to do it. Like negotiating, getting at the table. Do they be at the table now, negotiating along with the manager and stuff? Do you know anything about that?
I think it depends on the fighter.
Okay.
You know, it like you said, it depends on the fighter. But I remember back. Well, first of all, before I say this, let me acknowledge who came in here, because we appreciate that, man. We appreciate you cats come listening to us.
Yeah.
Bass Bees was the first one in here, man. Champ Ross Fantasy Boxing Prediction League, man. Good guy to follow. He's got a fantasy prediction league. He pays cash prizes out. Good dude out there, man. Thanks for coming by.
You gotta ask everybody to follow their page too.
Definitely. The landlord harassment channel. I just want to get the ones that came in here before I forget about them, bro. While they're still here, man. T-word. Thank you for coming by, man, and just a lot of knowledge. And yeah, we all got pages, and we're gonna give you our pages before we leave here. But thank you for coming in here, man. We appreciate that. And what are we talking about? Boxing in here, guys?
That's that wine. That's that wine, Bruce.
Not me. I don't think I haven't had a drink in 22 years, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dave.
No, that's fine, man, because I used to love to be drunk, but you know what I do? I smoke a lot of weed.
Oh, that's right.
You know that, Tim, man. That's my medication. That's my antidepressant. Aside from boxing, if it wasn't for Mary Jane, I think I'd go out of my mind. Me and my wife, we don't break any laws, and we've been smoking weed and loving boxing for many years, and we hope many years to come. And appreciate you coming on and giving us the platform, Tim, Greg, and Jason. Absolutely. Man, a pleasure being on with you guys. You guys know your shit, man.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
So we're not. I mean, how long are we going to? We can keep going, right? You guys, you want to do? Are we going to finish up or go a little bit more? How about you guys?
Well, Brian said
about another 20 minutes.
Yeah, man. I love talking boxing, especially with people who know what they're talking about.
They do too.
I'm not even going to say the effing, but I got the 2-time heavyweight champion of the world over here, and I got 2 dudes who know what they're talking about, bro.
They sure do.
I'm here as long as you guys want me, man. I'm in my glory over here. This is the lane I was meant to be in, bro.
See, I'm just putting the belt up here and just giving a little bit of stuff. They got to pick up the show. They got to pick the show up.
Hey,
Tim, your presence alone picks the show up, so you're good, man.
You guys are running. This is nice and smooth, bro. We're having a nice conversation over here, and man, you know, you brothers know your shit, and I appreciate this, and once again, it's going to come back to topic again. This fight, it has to be made. Most of these fights we talked about before, it's almost like these boxers are on a collision course from day one. Hearns and Leonard. I remember them talking about that fight when they got out of the Olympics. That was going to be the fight, and it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. And then with Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya. Back in the late 90s, the early 2000s, that was a collision course. Don King was going to make that fight no matter what. Same with Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez. and and they all turned out to be spectacular. You know, some didn't live up to expectation, but they were all great events. But now, dude, this is the welterweight division, the two best. Who else is going to fight in the welterweight division? But Aversion, that was a joke. People were saying that had ripped gloves. They talk about all other crazy things about that. It wasn't even a contest. It was fixed and blah, 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 blah. What's going on in boxing today? Why don't we see the best fighting the best in the welterweight division? I don't know what else to say about this fight.
What about your page? What about your page? What about your guys' page?
Oh yeah, so we're AM Sports Media. So AM like Angry Man, because that's the flagship show right there, the Angry Man podcast. So yeah, right now we've been doing this right now, Tim, for like roughly a year. I think we're right up on a year. You know, we're at almost 4,500 subscribers now. So it's been going fairly well in terms of subscriber. As a matter of fact, T Ward was the first person that was really a part of our channel. And we used to do our live streams. It was just he and I and Jason together in our live streams. And now we typically get about 200 people in our live stream. So it's been going well.
Okay. I've been knowing Bruce for about 2 years now?
No, just over a year. I met you on your birthday.
Just over a year.
Your birthday last year. I just started a YouTube channel about a year and a half ago. I've been on YouTube for a few years, but I had the capabilities or the inclination. But then I started one because people saying, "Dude, you go back so far, and you know, you just have so much wealth to offer." And I said, "You know, I kind of do because I'm watching these other guys, and I'm saying, damn, you know, I want to communicate with these cats because they're not quite up to date on that. And even though I'm not good at my memory today, I got a lot to. I can remember Tim's fight with Bone Crusher Smith better than I can remember.
He was talking about it. We talking about the fight.
Tank Davis's fight with any of his last few fights. It's just that these fights, I was just really immersed in them, and you know, and then I saw Tim's birthday, and I said, damn, this was one of my favorite heavyweight boxers. So I did a YouTube thing, and I just went back and I talked about all the fights I saw he was in, and how I said, dude, I think he was 64 that day, and I just wished him a happy birthday, and I said, damn.
Man, don't be telling my age, man. I'm trying to get a couple of
Hey, they can go on Box Rec and find it, bro. You can't hide nothing out there.
I'm just playing.
Hey, I'm 68. I got you by a couple of years, bro. So I'm not ashamed of it every year. But I went on there and I did that show, and all of a sudden I looked at my comments, and Tim says, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I'm like, shit, man. That's my hero, Tim Witherspoon. And anyway, I said, I'd love to interview you. And anyway, we interviewed, and then I just been friends with him online. And then he was at a Legend show in Elmira, Pennsylvania a few months back. And me and one of my friends, Mad Chad, we drove down there from New England, and the rest is history, man. I met Tim, I met Starling, I met Riddick Bowe and fucking bro. I mean,
we got a whole a variety of other boxers too. Bruce, we can hook you guys up with them, okay?
Absolutely,
guys up with them.
The wealth of knowledge and experience from you guys is awesome.
Yeah, well, we got about, I'd say 30 guys. Ray Mercer, Al Cole. We got name some of the names, Bruce.
Sugar Ray Seals.
We got Sugar Ray Seals.
Mitch Blood Green.
Mitch Blood Green. He can't really talk real good.
Tyrell Biggs.
Tyrell Biggs. Mitch Blood Green. Yep.
We've got damn. No, you put me on the spot, and
Pinklin Thomas.
Man, right there. Pinklin Thomas.
What the?
I've been talking to Leon Muhammad almost every day. Tim's former manager. Nicest guy in the world. Let me tell
him about Leon. Leon, okay. You know Leon? You know Leon Gregg?
I don't.
Leon Muhammad. He's from Philly. He's one of the greatest matchmakers that ever lived in the boxing game. He can get you any kind of opponent. He's with Don. He was with Bob Aaron. He was with all of
everybody.
He knows a lot of knowledge. He knows all the stories. We can get you on. We can get him on with you. Talk to Brian or Bruce, and we can get you on me. I'm sitting here enjoying. I say words here now and then. I didn't forget everything, but I'm just here being a nice guy. No, I'm just here being getting involved. But we have a lot of guys, y'all. I'm telling you, we have a lot of other boxers that you can get on. I'm just trying to think of a couple more. But Bryant, no, he need to come on and talk about it. He up there sitting in the back.
Hey, champ, you just got a $10 donation from Sean T. Peace and blessings to the panel. Tim Witherspoon is a class act. I became a fan when he was robbed in the Holmes fight. Respect, and Holmes knocked all your teeth out. Remember that, champ?
Hey, stay on for a minute, Brian.
Hey, Marty wants to come on. Marty,
let Marty come on. This is
all right. I gotta send him a link.
This is my little cousin. Y'all got a little bit more time.
Manager Marty.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Oh, get out of here!
He was just on the show with us. Yo, get Marty off of here, man.
Marty
off of here.
Marty's cousin. I got 3 children by Marty's cousin, Tammy. Yeah, Marty is my relative. Yeah, he's smart.
Marty was on our show this past Sunday.
Weekend.
Manager Marty.
I saw Manager Marty on Everything Boxing. I saw him on Monty Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on in the chat on the show, but I never met the brother. But hey, bro, I'm here for a little while. You guys want me to come hang on with you, man? I got nowhere to go. My old lady's in bed already. I think she did a little bit too much of that tincture I made today. So I'm here for boxing, my brothers.
So there's other boxers that you can, if you talk to the Bruce.
Oh man.
We trying to get them all together. We had events. We was at the events. We got all the, like I said, we rode up and picked Mitch Green up, Terrell Biggs up. Then hey, there's some old too, man. You gotta. What did you say, Reddick Bow?
Yeah, Big Daddy Bow was there.
We keep saying the same numbers. You can tell our age. We keep saying the same names over again. But there's more other guys too. Who else? Bruce?
You got John Scully.
The Iceman.
You got
what's up, Marty?
Let me get out of here.
What's up? That Marty.
No.
Manager Marty. How you doing?
Hey, Manager Marty, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Bruce, I'm doing really good, man. I'm around family now, and I'm with the great historian of boxing, Bruce. I'm with my guy, Greg. I'm with my guy, Jason, and my cousin, Big Tim. I'm around family, man. I'm good.
I told you.
Let's eat.
This is
Ain't
beautiful.
no
How y'all guys doing, man?
Everything good.
Doing well.
We just trying to talk about same old thing we do all the time.
Well, actually, you guys called me up, and there was a topic on this program today, and we wanted to know why the fight. The people have been talking about it to the point where you almost want to throw up.
Marty been on it. Marty been on that.
Why don't they make this fight? We've seen every welterweight fight happen in my lifetime. The champs always fight the champs, but yet for the past 3 years, we're dicking around here saying, why doesn't Bud Crawford and Errol Spence fight? And that's what Brian called me up for. That's what Tim wanted to know, and that's what Greg and Jason. That's what we're talking about. And
Marty been on it. Marty's
been on it. Marty's in the game over here, bro.
He know more about it than me.
Well, I'll tell you something. I appreciate all the accolades, but I would be remiss if I didn't give acknowledgement to the 2 brothers that you see on this panel. I think they actually did a better job covering it than I did, and that's Greg and Jason. They did a heck of a job, man. And I mean,
real?
Oh man, you got to check it. I'm going to send you the video, cuz these guys did it in a more sophisticated way. See, when I do it, I talk from the hip, man. I did it, and I but Greg and Jason, they was more professional. But we basically was saying the same thing. But those guys did a great job breaking down why the fight didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Oh! I witnessed what they was doing before you came on. They was doing a hell of a job. I'm just a trophy to sit here. I make a comments here and there. Y'all guys got to take the show over.
Man, listen, you are the 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. So we are just here excited to just have you in our presence and the knowledge that you have, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God.
I just can make you
Big
champ of the
facts.
world though if you let me train you. But
hey, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, let me tell you like this. You know I have small lower back problems, but I'll tell you something though. I've been getting phone calls to do. I'm not going to talk too much because I know physically I'm not really prepared to get in the ring. I will do it because I will have you train me, especially if Damon calls me. You know, I've been trying to reach out to Damon.
Oh, he's talking about celebrity boxing president Damon.
Yeah, celebrity boxing president. I got his number. We've been trying to connect. We've been playing phone tag. You know, but there's a YouTuber. Not going to say his name. His name is not BBS TV. No, Greg, listen, because I know you and Jason go get me. Listen, it's not him.
You know I know Damon. You know I know Damon real good.
Yes, it's not him. It's not him, Jason and Greg. There's another YouTuber. He's a smaller. He has about 800 subscribers, but he's been going out of his way putting boxing gloves on. And I just saw somebody sent this to me like last week. Oh, Manager Marty, you know, if you want to box me and everything, and I don't like you, and he's saying all this bad stuff about me. I don't even know who the guy is. But if they
I'll get you ready in 10 days, believe me.
Well, let me tell you something. If we can make some money off it, I might come out of amateur boxing retirement, and I will oblige him. We'll see.
Well, you know, I used to be. I don't want to really be so crazy about the situation. You know, I knew Damon's father. I know his brother. And you know, I know Damon, the president of those shows he be doing the show. And,
you was on one of the shows. Remember, you did.
I'm the celebrity heavyweight champion of the world, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out, and so I just don't want to say nothing. He just got off. I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to say nothing about Damon because I do care about him. That's my bull, but he didn't do the right things. You know.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. You know, he's good friends with Hanson, Greg, George.
The black guy. Is a black guy?
Yeah, George Hanson. Yeah.
Is he a official in the boxing?
Yeah, he was a trainer, but he used to box, so he does the ring announce. You know him with the dreads.
Yeah,
you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So George and I have been connecting for a while. Okay. So yeah. But anyway, man, I'm just so glad to be here with Bruce, the historian, Greg, Jason, you. Man, I just got off my live. I just did my live. Then when I just got off the live, you know I'm a subscriber to your channel, cuz. And I seen it said Tim Witherspoon live. I said, oh, he live. Let me go on there. Man, I see Greg and Jason. I said, oh, man, Brian better send me the link. My bull's on here.
If you get serious about that fight, I guarantee you I have you ready in a week.
I know you will. All you gotta do is let
me see that other guy video and how he moved. Is over.
He don't want nothing. I got the 2-time heavyweight champion in my corner. He don't want no work.
You're gonna have to in the bell ring. You're gonna have to rumble though. You know that, right?
Oh, of course. I've been rumbling all my life. Ain't nothing different, man.
Okay.
Hey, Greg. I'm gonna email you when I get off of this live, brother, because I don't want to publicize it, but you know I'm just gonna tell you like this. Marietta's been calling my name, brother.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right?
I think I know what you mean. Yeah, email me.
All right, I certainly will do that.
Bruce, I'm gonna have to start going on their shows. They got something secret going on. They got
definitely, bro. I mean, bro, people don't understand it. YouTube is holding boxing together right now. I grew up in the days, Wide World of Sports World, even ESPN and USA. They were all gone, bro. They were all gone. You know, pay-per-view. That's crazy. I don't even know why they even bother and measuring fights on pay-per-view anymore. YouTube is what's holding boxing together, and it's cats like us. We're bringing it all out. We're chopping it all up. We got different viewpoints, different camps going on, whatever it is, bro. But this is where it's at, and I don't know why boxing doesn't take advantage of that and use this platform. They could show fights every weeknight. They could put on. That could be a platform. YouTube could be a platform for boxing because let's face it, man. Everybody who's into boxing today, where do you get your info? Where do you hang out? YouTube, right? I mean, dude, they're missing the boat over here. I don't get it. You know, I'm trying to comprehend boxing. I get an idea, and then all of a sudden it's like, Why didn't they think of this first? It's like this is boxing today. This is where it's at for boxing. Utilize it, man. So get the fighters on here.
So Brian has to come on. Do we have 4 minutes? Because I know these guys' time is. We got 4 minutes, Brian.
I don't know. Go as long as you want.
Because I know whatever these guys want, how long you want to stay on.
It's up to you guys. You guys stay on as long as you want. You got the superstar team here, so.
The superstar team.
Well, I know they probably have.
How we do you in here, Brian?
We can go like 5 more minutes, guys.
Yeah, that works well.
Okay, 5 more minutes. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, we got the critical show. It was a great show, man.
That's my daughter. She trying to. I can't stand her.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you love her. She's got you right around that little pinky. Come on, we know that. We know that.
So one thing I want to share.
Okay.
And I think it's important to share this just with the group and the people that are in the chat is this. I think that the thing that makes all of us successful that are currently on this panel is the fact that we're genuine and authentic, right? I feel like, Tim, just with the interaction that we've had with you over the last 2 hours, because we've been interacting with you since 7 o'clock, a very genuine and authentic person. And I think you're going to be very successful on YouTube. Bruce, already just from hearing you talk, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's quoting all kind of stuff from boxing that I either did not know or have forgotten, right? And then Marty, I think the reason why, we have connected so well is just because of the genuine nature that you have, right? Similar platforms, very genuine people. So these are the types of circles that Jason and I want to continue to be in. And if Marty is telling me what I think he's telling me, we're gonna be setting this thing on fire. So I appreciate you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Everything Greg said times 10.
Okay, so go ahead, Bruce, because this.
No, I'm just gonna say, boy, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure talking to you, young gentlemen, man, and my brother Tim Witherspoon up here. I mean, this is
terrible, Tim.
Terrible Tim. 2-time heavyweight championship of the world. The man who's been in with the best. I mean, dude, he'd tell you right out. The only reason he lost that WBA title is he took the dive. He didn't want to take no shit from Don King. I mean, this is where you get real raw boxing, bro. And I'm an honor to be. It's an honor for me to be on here with you young gentlemen and the legend Tim Witherspoon. So, man, thank you, cats, for seeing. And any of you guys want to get in touch with me for any shows, man, I'm easy to get in touch with. And it'd be a pleasure to have any of you guys on my show, man. So, peace and God bless.
When I was telling them real quick about the dive, I kind of was not confused, because I was jumping back and forth and everything. But that truly did happen. And I have several people that knew all about it and knew we was going to do it. And you can, like Aaron Snowell, you can bring him on. There's a couple other people you can bring them on, and you can ask them their experience. Why they was pressuring me. They was sending people to my room to make sure to try to get me to fight. They sent the commissioner. They sent he passed away, the WBC president. He came. Everybody was threatening me. So I said, man, the hell with this. And I just got away from him, man. I got away from him. I said, I'm going to do this, and we're going to get away from them, and we're going to sue his butt. And that's exactly what we did. But when they asked me the question first, I was thinking about 3 different things, and I felt like it didn't come out it didn't come out right. So I just want to thank you guys for coming on. I'll be available, Bruce, my cousin Marty, you guys will be available, and we got all those other boxers that'll be available. Absolutely. They need people. They need guys like you to have them on so they sharpen their skills up when they keep their head sharp. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hey,
Bruce.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it all coming together.
How'd the show go, Brian, so far?
You guys got a superstar team. I mean, we're good.
That's what all promoters say.
Everything that's going on in boxing today, you're not going to understand that until you talk about the history of boxing, because it's all happened before, and you can see how and why, and you got the people right here to been there and can tell you all about it, man. So hey guys, thank you for having me on here. I'm out of here. Peace out, bros.
All right, thanks. Greg.
I'll give my last words real quick. Jason, Greg, you guys are the best. Always good to be in you guys' presence. Cuz you know what it is. Come on now. You already know what it is with us,
we
man.
We ain't got to talk about it.
We ain't got to talk about it. Brian, you know what it is with us. We don't have to talk about it. You guys are like, Brian, you're like family to me also. Thank you for dropping the link. When I saw that Greg and Jason was on, I'm not trying to come and steal the show, but I'm like, man, I gotta salute them guys. I gotta come on this. This is Greg and Jason here, man.
And real quick, guys, if you can, Pinklin Thomas, we just created his YouTube channel.
Okay.
And he wants to get an online presence along with him and Marlon Starlin. We just got him a laptop. So they, if you guys could be gracious and bring them on your shows as we build their channels up.
You already told them we had access, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we'll bring them on. And you have a bunch of other guys too, like Michael Spinks, Michael Nunn, Michael Lajade. I mean, I can go down a list this long, all doing stuff now online.
Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, we are definitely interested.
Marty,
sure.
You need to bring me on.
Yes.
I'm not sharp like y'all guys. Y'all some sharp dudes.
But listen,
just have me there to say like this.
No, Tim. Hey man, you sharpen the ring, bro. So long as you sharpen the ring, the fans will always want to know your knowledge in the ring, and you're genuine. Everything you say is from the heart.
Makes a lot of sense.
Hey, quick question before I go. Did you tell Greg and Jason about the Frank Bruno story in UK when they almost killed you?
No, we didn't tell them. We didn't get that one. Right. Me and Brian did that the other day, I think, when they was trying to break this big door down. They were trying to break this big door down. It was like 2,000 people on the other side of the door, and it was Muhammad Ali. He came to the fight. I sparred with him before the fight a couple of times, but he came over to support me. And so after the fight, they tried to kill us, trying to get to the dressing room and everything. They was throwing everything. This is when I knew it was serious. When I seen a body fly over the top, like we walking. And we had like 6'7", 6'9", 6'10" bodyguards. Everybody was over 6'5". They was big. They must have knew it was going to be something like that. So they was walking us out. They said, "Look, lift your feet up and move fast." That's what the security was telling us. If you fall, we won't be able to help you. This is that in England. So I seen that body go over. I said, "Oh, stop!" So your Tammy was underneath me. I said, "Tammy, do not." I said, "Keep your feet moving." And we kept moving. So we made it to the end. We got to the dressing room. They was on the other side of the door with a big wood tree stumps trying to break the door down. Boom, boom. Me and Bryant was trying to find it on the internet because it is documented. So they was breaking the door down. Huh? So Ali I'm getting ready to tell you about Ali.
Go ahead.
We in the dressing room. We get ready to go. The security get ready to move us to another part of to the stadium. And so Ali came up and said, "Look," he said, "open up that door. Like take that big piece of thing off so you can open up the door." They was like, "You crazy? We can't do that." He said, "Open." There was about 2,000 people out there. They were trying to come in and kill us. He said, "Open the door." He was like, "No." He just said, "No, Ali, we can't do it." He said, "Open the door." So Ali stood in front of the door, and they lifted up, and the people were coming. As soon as it opened, they stopped. They stopped. Ali said, "Go back. There's nothing you can." He said something. I can't remember. He said, like, "Just go back." He said, "Get back." He said, "There's nothing you can, do," or whatever he said, and they stopped, and they walked away. They was the champ. The champ saved us. Somebody would have got killed that night. This was after I knocked Frank Bruno out. We went into the dressing room, and they was ramming it. And it's videotaped. It's on the documentary where they were trying to break it in, and it was almost getting ready to break in, and Ali saved our lives. That was beautiful. Wow. That was beautiful, man. You see all the people that was there, 65,000 people. It was like about 2,000 people there trying to break it in, and Ali stopped them. That was something beautiful, man. I'm out of here, man. But
Wow.
I'm anytime, Brian. Anytime, let's get it together, man. I'm just following everybody lead. Y'all the guys is sharp with your voice. Just have me there as the piece.
You're just there to look pretty for the ladies, Tim. That's it. We're trying to get our female.
They could probably get me some
up.
girls. They probably could get me a girlfriend.
Okay. Salute to you guys, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Same to you, man.
Salute,
All
man.
right.
Same.
Thank you very much,
everybody.
All right, thank you guys. Hey, thank you. Next time, I'll see you next time, okay?
Yes,
all right,
sir.
sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.
See you,
Bye.
champ.
Sponsored by Wawa.